Okay, we're good.
All right. D-Land Productions, anything Scout, take 3. This is the crew of Anything Scout. What a motley bunch of guys here. So Sean, what do you think of this guy, this group?
Well, amazing group, yeah. Gives me, that's why my hair is gray, but no, so we got Shane on the end there, Tyler, Michael, Luke, and Ben. Ben is our kind of shop manager, so he runs point on all these projects that you see around. Luke is our in-house engineer and social media guru. Michael cleans the bathrooms. He's our in-house kind of fabricator welder, so he does all of our production welding and fabrication. Well, we all kind of fabricate, but he's our lead guy. Tyler and Shane, they're just our techs. They're doing a lot of like LS swaps and a lot of restorative work. So,
well, I'm going to have each one of you introduce yourself and tell us what your role is.
Yeah.
With Anything Scout. We'll start with you.
My name's Shane Blankenship. I do a lot of the motor swap stuff, aluminum wiring harnesses up and whatnot. Some drivetrain work, refreshing the suspensions, basically anything mechanical.
How long you been with Sean?
A little under a year, half a year. Roughly.
What did you do before?
I worked for Snap-on, and I also worked for another restoration company out of Des Moines.
And had you been around IH before? Are you familiar with Scouts and stuff?
Not a whole lot with IH specific, but a lot of older vehicles and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and Shane, like I mentioned before, he is into autocross racing, so he brings a lot of that kind of innovation into the project. Yeah, and just like really clean routing and of hoses and wiring, and that's all really needed stuff.
How about this guy?
My name's Tyler Fritz. I'm kind of new here. Only been here like a month or so. Kind of like Shane, doing a little bit of everything. I guess mainly LS swap. Just almost finishing up my first one now. So.
What did you do before?
I've done a few things. Last job I drove for Pepsi.
Ooh.
And before that I worked at Vermeer down in Pella, welding.
Cool. And then were you familiar with International, what they were? Scouts, whatever.
I knew what Scouts were. I'd actually never even seen one up close until I came here and talked to Sean. So I'm in a learning process with Scouts mainly. I've done a lot of tinkering, older vehicles, some older Toyotas, older BMWs, and like the mechanics and car stuff all around, and so I'm just starting to learn the international stuff.
After a month of it, what do you think?
I love it.
Yeah, that's been neat, man. Like coming in, because John, you and I were talking about business stuff and hiring new people, and both these guys. I mean, it's great when you find someone that fits in the team well. They do good work, and just another key addition that makes the team that much better. So these guys, that's been great.
You've been with them a year, you say?
A little under a year.
What's your impression of Scouts now in International?
It's definitely one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. And it's real easy to get along with. Everyone's always got to have a little bit of fun when you work, and it's not too.
What about the product? The Scouts and
finished products always turn out great. I mean, they're exactly what you pay for. They're great products. Everything. Always make sure it's perfect before it leaves.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Always like to hear that. How about you?
I'm Michael, and so I've been doing the welding full-time here for 3 years. Before that, I went to EMAC Ankeny campus for the welding program there, and before that, I've known Sean for like 8 years, and I'd hang out, a long time, but I'd hang out in high school during the summers and, a little bit after school and just do just about anything, but so I do pretty much just anything from one-off custom stuff to production, like roll cages or just anything welding.
And did you know Scouts and stuff before?
No, never.
Not a clue.
No,
What do
but
you think now?
they're pretty cool. I mean, Yeah, they're really cool. I mean, you look at something like that, and it's just, if you don't know anything about Scouts, it's just, it's like, wow, that looks really cool. So.
How about you?
My name is Luke Stevenson. I'm kind of the engineer here, I guess. I do a lot of the 3D modeling and CAD stuff, so getting all the things that these guys hand fabricate before into a model so we can get them laser cut, a little more dialed in. Working with inventing new products, kind of getting some of the ideas these guys have on paper and making them a reality. I went to Iowa State for mechanical engineering before this. Right out of school, went down to Des Moines, got a typical engineering job, designing turbochargers and that kind of stuff. And I've just been talking with Sean. I worked here on and off during the summers in school, and so I've been around, got to know these guys, and then just kind of hated my job in Des Moines. And Sean had some interesting ideas and some products he wanted to launch, and had some stuff for me to do, so he convinced me to come on, and haven't looked back.
Were you familiar with the product before?
A little bit. I mean, just from hanging around. I knew these guys before I started working here, so hanging around them, seeing them tinker, riding around in their trucks, doing trips.
So he's recently got a Scout.
Okay.
His first
I
one.
was, yeah.
We're gonna get around to that.
Oh, okay.
So you like the product enough that you got one?
Yep. I think it's just kind of a standard. You work with them, you get them. It happens whether you want to or not.
And backtracking a little, you don't have one yet?
No, I don't.
Thinking about one?
So,
Maybe later on down the road, but not right now.
You've been here a month.
And I thought about it, and actually, as soon as I found out about the job here, I was searching Craigslist and looking,
So you're on it already.
and kind of back and forth on what older vehicle I want. But
I actually about got one from
Yeah,
Sean
almost,
over
yeah.
the winter time, but I have a couple race car projects I'm building, and just got my grandpa's old 78 MGB running, so I've been driving that around. So that's got my old car fixed for now. But
Cool. How about you?
Yeah, I have one. I've got a 71 Scout 2. So that's,
It's like an 810, right?
810,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I haven't checked the VIN number on that, but...
Introduce yourself and tell us your role.
My name's Ben Law. I'm the designated shop manager, I guess. Trying to keep the projects organized as we're pumping them out and
Been unscratched.
unscratched. Yeah, and the paint not here. So that's my other role is I do the paint and body work and kind of the finish sheet metal and all that sort of stuff too.
But Ben, how long have you been here? Like 4 or 5 years?
8 years.
8 years? What's amazing is about this guy, I mean, he really can do it all, like every aspect of the build. So you said paint and body, but electrical, he knows everything about everything we do and does it at a really high level. So he's great.
I think he's thinking in his head, 8 years and I need a raise.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
Nah, Sean pays me well.
Good. Glad to hear that.
It's yeah, it's a good job.
So what did you think of the product after 8 years?
I love Scouts. They're pretty sweet. They're a nice, nimble little truck that people either they know nothing about them or they love them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of fun to get people's impressions of them. And I work on Scouts. I'm like, oh, what's a Scout? That sort of. It's fun. I like it.
What's cool too about Ben's truck, so for example, we drove 3 Scouts to Colorado last summer. A really vigorous trip. But out of all the trucks, his was the only one that it just like never breaks down. It's a original 258. Well, it's not original, but it's an AMT 258 T19 manual brakes, manual steering. It's just a workhorse, and to this day he hasn't talked about changing it. So it's pretty sweet.
I love it. Keep it stock, man.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
So the one behind us here is similar to what's going to be in the build-off.
Yeah.
What did you do with it?
Well, we've done what I personally did to
Personally,
it.
what is your hand in that truck?
I did a bunch of rust repair. We replaced the front floors, the rear floor, the quarter panels. I trimmed the front of the wheel well on the quarter panels up 3/4 of an inch so it would fit the wheels better. You know, the Scout 2s kind of have that real tight clearance with the tire in those wheel wells. So clearance that.
Really quick, I just want to interject. One thing I wish we were talking about this last night. Like, you can't see because there's fender flares on there, but there's probably 12 hours of labor, like on just fitting, maybe more, on just fitting keeping the stock body line, but opening up those wheel wells just perfect, and then tweaking the flare to fit that bigger opening.
I'm noticing now the difference in the back there.
Yeah, and then we trimmed up the back because it's got a wraparound bumper, but this, I mean, that's important. What's funny is what's important to Ben is he's like, it's more important knowing that it's right underneath the fender flare, because it'd be easy going, hey, it's going to get fender flare, so let's just kind of quick it, just rig it and just
get it on.
But it's perfect underneath those flares. It looks as good as without the flare.
I want the next guy to take that fender flare off to not be able to tell that I did anything to the
Looks like it was the
quarter. Exactly. That's always my goal with that sort of stuff. So did that. A lot of the body work. Sean does body work too, so he helped me with this body work too. And then painted it. We rent a booth. Spray booth, and I go and spray there. Then I don't know, done a bunch of other stuff, wiring and
The build-off vehicles in the other room.
Yeah.
It's very similar to this
Very
one.
similar, yeah.
What your role in it is the same. Was there
Same.
anything
Yep.
different between the two?
That one had a lot less rust. That was a
Okay.
pretty clean body. So
And it's that other one's got a custom Dakota Digital gauge, this rectangular kind of IH vibe, but so fitting the dash and making that all look as factory as possible. That was a lot of
that
time.
was a lot of time. Yeah. Just,
And Luke and Michael, big hand in producing both these chassis, the fabrication and design work on the
Getting
chassis.
to him next. What was your role in these two?
Take it.
Working out the frame, that's probably the biggest thing that I've been, because that's a new product for us, so getting that tune dialed in, making sure to keep all the stock suspension points and making it work with the Scout bodies. There's some tricks
gas
to it.
tank.
Yeah.
Gas tanks.
How exciting was it when that frame arrived? Was there excitement here?
Oh yeah.
There was excitement and there was a lot of